So I spent 4 years in college going through ROTC. So when I graduated, I became a second lieutenant. From there, I went to navigator training school. And I spent a year learning how to navigate an airplane without anything except a compass. From there, I went to electronic warfare officer school and became an electronic warfare officer as well as a navigator. I was dual rated.
What is
electronic warfare officer is a guy who works equipment in the airplane, the B-52 as a matter of fact, that precludes enemy radars from seeing the airplane. It's the guy that runs the jammer on the airplane, several of them. They'd know we were there because the jamming puts a strobe on their scope, but they can't tell how far away they are. I was in Vietnam twice. The first time I was there was in '63.
Okay.
And the last time I was there was in '72, '73. When I was there in '63, I was flying an airplane called the B-26, which is a twin-engine, gas-powered, propeller-driven airplane. Okay, and it was used in World War II and was used in Korea, and the same one was used in Vietnam. The pilot was there, and I was there as the navigator, co-pilot, engineer, whatever. I was actually shooting at people with the front end of the airplane. The pilot steered the airplane, and I armed the weapon, armed the 50 cal. We had, in that B-26, we had 14 forward-firing 50 caliber machine guns, 8 in the nose and 3 in each wing. And if you fired them all together, the airplane would stop. And we were going around killing people, trying to anyway. And I have to say, they were trying to kill us too. So they got killed, that was their fault. They shouldn't have been there. When you're in combat, my experience is you didn't think about dying. You were thinking about making the other guy die. I never was scared to the point that I thought I was going to die, except once when I was flying in the B-26 and we had a brigadier general who wanted to be the pilot and get a mission in. So we got in the airplane and he took off and flew, and I was riding shotgun for him. We found a target. He rolled in on a target, and he's supposed to, when I tap his shoulder at 3,000 feet, he's supposed to line up. At 2,000 feet, he releases the bomb, and by 1,000 feet, he's pulling up and going away. Well, he didn't do that. He got target fixation, and he was going to hit that target. That's all there was to it. I mean, he finally pulled off, and that was the only time I was really concerned about dying, was that guy not smacking into the ground. Those 50 missions were all flown in '63. I did fly a couple of B-52 missions in '72, '73, but I couldn't, because I'd been in the intelligence business before. I went there the second time. I couldn't fly up over North Vietnam. They wouldn't have let me fly up there. But my clearances were too high. I had intelligence information the other guy would have liked to have, and they didn't want him to get it. But I could fly over South Vietnam in a B-52. They were pretty safe. You flying at 35,000 feet, and the guns can go to 32. My most memorable experiences was briefing General LeMay at SAC headquarters after he had retired. Now, I was intelligence, and I gave him a briefing at that point. In the middle of the table was the red phone, okay? The emergency phone. If there was no doubt in anybody's mind in that room, if that phone rang, LeMay was going to pick it up. He's such a very powerful personality. I can't explain to you how powerful his personality was. To me, that's probably the most significant thing I did while I was at SAC headquarters. It gave me a reason for being in the military. The fact that I was serving my country was a good reason to stay in the military, and that's why I stayed. When I grew up, Pearl Harbor just happened. I remember us being so unprepared that we didn't know they were going to attack. And that stuck in my mind from the time I was 7 years old. Kids today need to think about serving their country in the military or in the Peace Corps, but doing some time to serve their country. to serve something that's more important and bigger than themselves. And the military is there. It needs it.